now. So we are in recording mode, and I'm sure some people are going to join in as we go. Just kind of alerted the communities and told them this is happening, and I think they're going to be excited, especially as we get to some news at the end here. I wonder if everyone can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay, Kelvin? I know some people said that I sound like I'm talking very fast. Okay, cool. So we will go ahead and everybody, thank you for joining us here today. We have our AMA with AscenPad and their founder, Kelvin Jones. As you can see, we are both KYC'd and doxed founders of our projects. And we've had a partnership here for some time. Last time when we had our AMA over on the AscenPad channel, it was announced that for all of the minted Crypto Brontos, we were going to be receiving a portion of those proceeds buying back SOWL tokens. So I'm sure by the end of this AMA, we'll get a little update on that, along with any other news about how our partnership together, especially during a market like this one, is only going to continue strengthening our communities. So I'm going to go ahead and Kelvin, if you're okay with me kind of passing it over to you. I know you have some slides to share, talk a little bit about your project, how we're going to work together, and then just what, everything in the market means right now. So everybody, please give a warm welcome to Kelvin here, where he's going to share a lot about his project, a little bit about SOWL Token and how we're working together and the future.
Did you want to address all of that up front before we get into the deep dive, or do you want to just do the deep dive first?
Yeah, I think the deep dive will show people a bit of, what you are working on and, really what the market looks like, and then ultimately ending on that, positive note of how we're going to be building together here. So, whatever direction you want to take things in, I am good with.
Cool. I think this will get everyone just a little bit more excited about why an NFT. Sorry. NFTs are typically, people view them as, why do I want one? It's nothing but a JPEG. So why should I even invest in one? But I always use a quick analogy with that. The Mona Lisa, when Da Vinci first painted it, I'm not sure if she was the most beautiful woman on earth or the most beautiful painting at the time. But we can certainly see its value today. And no, this NFT is not like the Mona Lisa, not at all. We're not comparing it, but I use that to quickly highlight, just because everybody understands value in the Mona Lisa. So NFTs as a piece of art all by themselves can have value. So we worked for over 5 months to produce what I'm about to share little bits of with you, with everyone today. And so to, sorry, let's just redo this. My bad. One sec. You can't start at the end of a presentation. You're going to start at the beginning and the beginning. So.
All good. Yes.
My bad.
I know.
Sorry about the delay. Anyway, so I just wanted to get this. We wanted to do this to try to just, give everyone a little bit of excitement about what we're doing. Because once you see this, you'll start to understand 5 months, 6 months worth of work just on the artwork alone has value. So, I won't spend a lot of time on the Bronto story. This story is on the website, but I wanted to highlight that this is a family-friendly project. So this story comes from a very tongue-in-cheek, family-friendly perspective, but with a lot of adult language in it. Adult as in big words. And, if you're going to sit and tell this story to your kids, you're going to spend lots of time with them, because that's what these were designed for. So it starts out with, as far as we know, how the Crypto Brontos came to be, the Brontosaurus. Oddly, I found out people think this is a dinosaur, and it is of that category, but the Brontosaur was a dinosaur in its own category, 22 meters long, 72 feet long, up to 30 tons in weight. It's big. And this is an actual fun fact. It was known as thunder lizard back in the day. And some of the remains of Brontos were found in 1879, dating back to the Jurassic period. But the first Bronto bones found were 1879. Fun fact, there it is. Put it out there for everyone. As I said, you can go and read this story online, but what we tell is just how they created this ethereal space they called the blockchain. They were able to digitize, see big words for your kids to explain to them, cryptographically store their collective intelligence on the blockchain, and they effectively became Crypto Brontos. And we're proud to finally reveal these beautiful, fun, and family-friendly creatures in an NFT collection of art that they themselves inspired. The story goes on to just talk about, and this is just the story, it's just a bit of a backstory just for fun. So there's no real fun fact in here. Shy creatures, male and female, very much look the same, and they all love the same stuff, same grooming, same styles. They were intelligent, and they liked brightly colored appearances and artistic grooming. They liked wearing hats, eventually wore hats, some fashionable, some goofy. They adapted to their surroundings, so you can see one with fins. The ones with fins don't always show up with water in the background, though, or that seaweed. And the other one, like a stegosaurus on his back to adapt to predators on land. So they adapted. So you'll see some with goofy stuff on their backs and things like that. Then skin, they blended in better with different skin types, or was it because they just liked wearing fun fashion? And here we go. So now the Brontos started to advance. And we have all of these Brontos in the collection. And then
like that.
this one, he's got a sweet tooth. So interestingly, I don't know if you recognize this, Megan, what's on his back.
Candy corn.
Yes. And I should send you a Bronto. You are the first person ever to identify the candy corn on his back, because it's only sold in North America, Canada, and the US. And you can't get it here in South Africa or anything. And when the artist, my son, Kelvin, did this one, I said to him, that looks absolutely ridiculous. And
I love it.
He just went, meh, that's the point, Dad. And he's never lived in North America. Him and his twin brother were born in Switzerland, and now they live here in South Africa with us. Yet, I love candy corn, and we did have some when we went to visit once. So, love it. This guy has a sweet tooth. Here's what's cool about this one. There are 3 main secrets in this one, and since we've minted, the shirt he's wearing has actually been updated to include some additional secrets. There are 3 main secrets, but one of those 3 secrets actually has a dozen little secrets of its own all throughout this particular NFT. You won't be able to see them here because they're not in high res here, and that's on purpose. You need to mint one and get one and then find it. It's all there. So they have secrets, and that's a real fun one. They love to party, so here's some party atmosphere. And then the final slide, and this ending you might have to change if you read this story to your kids. At last, they were ready for the final frontier, their intellect at its peak. They developed space exploration and the blockchain as we know it today, and we're so grateful that they did, because the Ethereum swallowed them up, the end. And they live on the Ethereum blockchain. So these are an Ethereum-based NFT, and you can mint one with some Ethereum 0.03 ETH, which is just under $40 right now. So that's the Bronto story. I went through it quickly. You can take a look at it on cryptobronto.com. But I promised you a deep dive. So without making this boring and death by PowerPoint, because I hate pie charts and bar graphs and stuff like that. So we're not going to do that. Let's take a look at one of the simplest Brontos that there are. And we do say these are high resolution. So don't forget, this is an 8K image, and I did take an original for this. It's an 8K image, bright colors, clean lines, and you can see all of that here. And it looks very simple. But remember, we've built more than just art here, and we'll come to that. So one of the first things we did is found in the bottom right corner of every NFT. And I know on a cell phone this might be hard to see, but there's an authenticity stamp there. This one is Bronto number 65, and as part of our marketing plan, this one's already been given out. And there's a DNA stamp. That DNA stamp is the uniqueness right there. We stamped this into every NFT, and it ties to when you mint, your mint contract, and the metadata that you get in your wallet includes that DNA exactly. So you can tie the two together as proof that you are the owner of that NFT. So we did that kind of as part of our premise. The Brontos wanted to create a safer place for everyone. So we wanted to have a safer NFT, and there you have it. That was our starting point.
And it's something so simple but so meaningful. I really like that. Yeah, that's brilliant.
But wait, there's more. On this simple Bronto, take a look at the face. We'll just zoom in a little bit here, and we'll get a little bit closer to his eye. So I'll get in close enough. I think we can see it. But even from here, you might begin to see something gray in the eye. We'll zoom in a bit more. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on your devices, but it's just look in the center of the eye. I'll zoom in a bit more. And if you can see that, you're looking at what we call dead fish. Now, dead fish doesn't always show up in the eye of a Bronto, although it's in many of them. It can show up anywhere. So these are the secrets that we've bundled into the artwork that can't be sniped by rarity snipers. So there's another little thing we've put into our NFT to make it interesting and fun for everybody to go hunting for. But wait, there's more. This Bronto actually holds, besides its DNA secret, which isn't really a secret, it holds two secrets, and that was one of them. The other one is hidden in the eyebrow. And this one is a shout out to the developer and artist, Daniel Botha, or Hashlips, also here in South Africa. He and his partner, Marco, developed the code for it's open source code that the Crypto Bronto contract is based on. They developed this stuff for free. They developed the minting dApp. They developed the art engine. So and he's got a full online course of how to use the art engine, which we used. And our art engine had to run because this is 8K art, we had to run it for 72 hours straight nonstop. We couldn't have a break. And it completed in 72, but it was 72 hours to generate the 10,000 Brontos in our collection. But for all of his effort, he shows you that in the contract, there's a 5% donation if you want to leave it there, and we did. So we are donating to Hashlips, and there's a little bit of a shout out permanently embedded in our Brontos as part of the fun. Let's get into one that's a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to share a surprise. So as with the others, these all have their DNA stamp down in the bottom right corner, but you'll notice something unique about this Bronto. There's an extra logo beside the authenticity stamp. Robbie Rhino, www.robbierhino.com, and the logo. And if you go there today, Robbie Rhino doesn't exist. So this series of Brontos actually became a piece of have now some historical value. Robbie Rhino did not Robbie Rhino did not fail. Robbie Rhino got absorbed by, of the 5 projects that we do this with throughout our Bronto project, Robbie Rhino got absorbed by one of the other ones, the IO project. And they now have something called the Wild Ones. So we partnered, and as we do, we collab with other NFT projects, and projects should collab with others to support one another during this down period in the blockchain. And that's what we did. Robbie Rhino supported us, we supported them, and we thought that was all pretty cool. But there was something else that we found and I only discovered this little surprise when I was actually preparing this presentation yesterday. So we do other things with the logos as a shout out to our collab, the 5 collabs that we worked with. So Robbie Rhino. Oh, by the way, Robbie Rhino only got their logo on exactly 12 of these spacesuit Brontos and 12 diver suit Brontos, making them 0.12% rare in the entire collection of 10,000. And of the 12, you have to remember the art engine never duplicates anything. So they'll have a diver's suit, but there will be something unique about all 12. So they are 100% unique across all 10,000. This is what I found. And as you know, mistakes in minting things often makes them more valuable, more rare to collectors. So here's one that I discovered. If you look at the awesomeness inside warning, Robbie Rhino. Now, Robbie Rhino was a secret agent, and we thought, well, the Bronto Project, we work with the Council of International Investigators in real life here in South Africa. That's like secret agent stuff. So let's collab with Robbie Rhino. That's cool. So we put this little blurb in there on all of these ones that says, this device is protected by a highly trained secret agent. Device is best shaken, not stirred. Shout out to 007 there. Lockout power and contact Bronto before servicing. But did you see the error in the spelling of rhinos ahead? We only picked this up, and this has been out for months now. We only picked this up yesterday when I was preparing this presentation. This suddenly became a super rare Bronto, and there will be 24 of them with that mistake. No, only 12 of them with that mistake in total. But that's not the surprise. Since we started minting and preparing to donate to SOWL Token on the 17th of November, someone minted this exact Bronto. Surprise! Somebody has a super rare.
So, oh my God. I remember when you first made the announcement that somebody who we had started minting, and I'm trying to think of who the people were that day it was announced who kept saying that they were minting them. Do you know who has it? Or I guess you only know whose wallet has it, right? So there's no way for you to know, but I guess people are going to have to go back and watch this recording, because I know there are people who minted these, and I'm sure they're wondering if it's them.
And here's the horrible thing. I know which Bronto number it is. Yeah. But I was careful to make sure that it didn't appear when I showed that portion of the slide.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we're pressed, I could share the Bronto number with somebody later, but I won't do that during this presentation and spoil the fun, because they might want to keep it a hidden secret and make it part of the fun, because that's one of the things we did with the Brontos was we kept them hidden on purpose. And that actually leads me to the next thing I want to talk about, which includes that and the value that we put into this artwork. So it wasn't just a 5-month project of art alone. And as art potentially appreciating over time, there's value in these art pieces. Number one, I already mentioned, it's high resolution 8K art. And that combined with the way we hid things in the art is still unique in the NFT space, even among all artists. They artwork is typically something that you have to be able to visualize as soon as you set eyes on it, and it has to grab you, and that's what they spend their time on. We just went a bit of a different route. We didn't quite go from the art perspective, but was the art perspective, but we just packed so much more into it. High resolution art makes it unique, and therefore will add value. The secrets that we bundled in here, I highlighted a couple here, threw in a couple of more unique Brontos that have a ton of secrets embedded in the art, adds value to the Bronto. They're also hidden, and that's why I didn't share the Bronto number for the person who actually minted that very, very rare Bronto during this last week. But these generate trading activity in the secondary market upon reveal, and we do have a long ways to go, so I think I'll throw this in here right now. We are a long-term project. We're not going anywhere because we're backed by LayerOne Cloud Pty Limited, a registered company, and it doesn't matter if it takes us a long time. The project won't fold up. We have no need to, and we can just keep going and keep minting until we get 75% minted out is our rough target for when we will do a reveal, and then go from there. So hidden NFT, because it's a hidden NFT, it adds value. And then utility, which we're going to show you how utility can change on an NFT over time. Our initial utility was to have this really cool piece of art with all those things I just told you about, but then link it to our future NFT marketplace, where fees on the marketplace will generate revenue, which we then share with all the Bronto holders. So dividends. It's marketplace fees, not taxes, but same idea. What we did though for this special mint up to Bronto 600, and we won't do it beyond that, we've also included, and this is where utility can change on an NFT. So you could get more down the road, who knows? But AscenPad dividends are now included with these Brontos as we mint. So like taxes, we pay back to the community who's holding Bronto NFTs. The details for all of that are on the website and how we're going to give you those token credits and how you'll earn dividends with this. But so there's another example of how an NFT not just has value as art and the things we put into it and the effort and everything, but also the utility that could change over time. So the things I mentioned, high resolution 8K art, the secrets embedded in the art, the hidden art, the reveal generates market activity, allows you to sell a lot easier. Then there's the two utilities that we've built now into the Crypto Bronto NFTs. One last thing I didn't mention is a lot of people talk about gas fees, so I thought I'd throw this in here. We are using Hashlep's lowest gas fee contract. He put together an ERC 721A. If you have a 721 contract on Ethereum, you'll pay $10 to $20 right now for gas fees. But we're seeing mints now going as low as $1.50 to $4 on average. So it's just not as expensive as everybody thought. This is intentionally a low gas fee contract. So minting isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg. And if you want to save on mint and gas fees, mint multiple Brontos at once. Done. Pay one gas fee, mint 10. And if you mint 10, we're going to give you one extra free, by the way. And wait, there's more. Okay. So the benefit of minting a Bronto. So after all of that, that's cool, great value and whatnot. So why a Bronto and how do we link it to AscenPad? And this is how we got here. We are using it as a fundraising mechanism to relaunch AscenPad. One of the interesting things right now, though, and we all know about the market and market's up, market's down, and the bear, and nobody wants to hear about the bear. Here's what we're reminding everyone of. If you mint a Bronto, we know exactly what day you minted, we know what the price of Ethereum was, and we know exactly how many dollars you spent. First bullet point, and this is on the AscenPad.app website. Go visit. The details are all there. But market dip protection. So what is that? If you put your money into this now, we are actually preserving its value by converting everything we get into BUSD right now because we haven't launched. So we don't have a token that's live. So because we don't have a token that's live, what you put in is what you will get out when we go live. So if the market dips by 20%, it doesn't matter. You still get the same value you put in today. That's market dip protection. And it's explained in detail on the website. It's also, minting a Bronto is also your ticket to the private sale. So if you do want to own some tokens, we're going to do the private sale in BUSD, $75 minimum, $600 maximum. Don't send us more. We'll send it back to the same wallet that sent it to us. But you need to own a Bronto in the wallet. And some people don't know this, but your Binance Smart Chain wallet address is the exact same wallet address on the Ethereum blockchain. So just FYI.
To know, folks, that's very important. Very, very good information. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. So we can check your wallet to see if you've got a Bronto when you send us the USD from your wallet. And then when launch, that's just, the three criteria are there, and you'll get an idea of when we plan to launch. That was our deep dive. And for paying attention this long, I thought, let's do something interesting. Are you up for it?
We love games. Let's do it. Hopefully everyone in here is ready for a game as well.
Okay. I see there's a small crowd, so big winners here coming up. Only one I had to put in here was this one. Sorry, Mikey.
Oh, well, I think he already had, that's who I was looking for, because I know, but I think the time zone.
He played the game. Played the game, so it's a spoiler. So I'm going to put the game on screen. If you can read fast, read it and go. First person wins. That's how it is. Go to CryptoBronto.com right now. You can take a break from the VC. We're not going to run away, and we're really at the end of everything fun here anyways, except for one last surprise announcement. This is surprise number 2. find the hidden, click on the front page of CryptoBronto.com. There's a little bit of activity somewhere to kind of hint at you where you should click, and click it. That'll take you to the page of secrets, where you can see a list of all the secrets hidden throughout all the Brontos. On that page, there's one more click. Find it, and you'll land on a page that lets the Brontos out, and they'll start running across your screen. If you get there, screenshot it, drop it in the chat. First one wins a Bronto.
My gosh, wait, I'm looking for the hidden click on the page, on the home page, right?
Yep, on the home page. Just, yeah.
I'm click.
Megan, you're in the game, so go. Yeah, if you.
Oh wait, am I here?
Get it.
All right.
So there's a little bit of activity on the front page. You'll see something moving as you get about halfway down, and then that's your hint. It's right there. You click it. It doesn't really do anything except change your mouse. If you're on a cell phone, you'll just have to start tapping. When you get to the page of secrets, though, you still have to find one more button, but the button's pretty obvious.
Wait, I'm trying to find. Oh, wait. Oh, I was okay.
Now you're going to put pressure on everyone as you click
I hope
along.
other people are playing too. I hope people are playing. Okay, so now I need to find the click to let the Brontos out. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So if you found the secrets, you've got to, I'll give you a hint. Go to the bottom of the page. There you go. For those who already got there.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Megan is a little, I think I did it. Let me put this in the screen. Let me make sure, see if it worked. Is this what I'm supposed to see?
You'll know if you found the right page. You see? A soldier let the Brontos out.
Did I do it?
Woo-hoo. Yes.
Oh my god. Wait, so does that mean I won?
You won. You
Yay.
won. So there's a giveaway Bronto for you. You can keep it, put it in the marketing wallet, or put it up as a prize for somebody at some point.
Ooh, yes. No, that is a good prize for people to have. Do I have to click mint.cryptobronto.com now?
No, we'll send you one.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's
guys, if you
that simple.
Oh, thank you, Hitman. Thank you. That's fun.
It,
we are going to need to do more of these. That was cool.
It was fun, eh? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so cool. I'm going to have to
now
tell
and now that we put it in video, now we can't play that game again.
Oh, well.
Hadn't thought of that. Oh, well.
Well, now, I mean, I think we can probably... I'm sure we can change it up a little bit or something. I think that's so cool. Oh, neat. That's fun.
So this is the last thing I wanted to address, and then we can just kind of blah, blah, blah on about other stuff. But I wanted to get that deep dive out of the way, build some excitement around the NFT, why an NFT, how it has value. It also gives everybody some insight into what they can look for in NFTs that are out there in the marketplace as well. However, that was surprise sold. So the first one was somebody minted a super rare. Second one was giveaway. And third one is, we had promised to give back. And as we get back, and we've been saying all along, all mints from November 17th, we'll give back 10% of the mint. And then we said, no, 15% and 20%. And we said, no, and you and I had discussed about how much to do, but we want to make sure that we share fairly. So we have 20% of our mint that's already committed to other things, but we figured a 50-50 split on the rest was more appropriate. So we're going to give back 40% of the mint to SOWL Token. If SOWL Token soldiers mint another 23 Brontos, which it's about 4 BNB, but altogether by, Sunday night, we're going to give back 40% of the mint, and 6 more Brontos goes to your marketing wallet to collect dividends over time, or you can use them for marketing, giveaways, or whatever you like.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And that's if we can get 23 more Brontos minted.
Yeah, total has to be 30, and we're getting really close. I mean, we got 7, but I figured, no, let's just see. Let's generate some excitement now, help everyone understand NFTs a bit more, and then up the ante properly for the weekend, and we'll see where we land on Sunday night.
Yes, yes. And those of you that recall when we had our other AMA over in the AscenPad community, this is when that partnership and part of what we're doing was announced. So very important. Anyone who's minting an NFT between now and the 27th in the next 2 days, AscenPad and our partnership is giving back to the SOWL token and our chart. So that helps you as well, which is incredible. And I mean, thank you so much. And guys, that's, the beauty of partnerships here is during a market like the one we have right now, it is so incredibly powerful and important to, be involved with communities that have a like-minded vision and goal here. And we want to, really, really foster those partnerships and relationships with these other projects. So please make sure that you are supporting AscenPad. And hey, I mean, we just had a walkthrough of what the NFTs look like. I see Mikey is here now, and he is the original owner, but I'm a winner now too, Mikey. So now we're on the same playing field. But you can see that there are so many secrets hidden into all of these, and it's so important to really just, get involved with quality projects like this. So that was so cool, and thank you so much. I really feel confident that we're going to be able to get those 23 Brontos minted, and yeah, that's such a huge give back. So thank you so much for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think in terms of collaborating partners and partnerships and things like that, so we have a bit of a trifecta on our side. We've got LayerOne as the registered company behind Crypto Bronto and AscenPad, and LayerOne as the parent company handles audits and KYCs for projects that will launch on the NFT marketplace and on AscenPad, and AscenPad's a free launch pad as well. In terms of a learning project, a lot of people might go, well, yeah, but what does that have to do with learning? Well, on the Bronto side, that family-friendly story and kind of fun, you can turn that into a game, actually, at some point. I'm kind of waiting for someone to go, let's make a game out of this. But, the real synergy is with the business owners or leaders themselves. That's where the real partnership or the collab has benefit. It's when you have a group of trusted projects working together and one vouches for the other, it just adds credibility in this space, which is sorely lacking. True, an audit or KYC from a valid source is also a good indicator, but just having the additional support of collaborating projects like this, like ours, like us, I think that just adds weight to the projects. It's a strong indicator that the project's not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that, we all know what happened like 2 weeks ago. Obviously, one of the biggest crypto meltdowns. I don't even want to say the name of it. It's like, you just don't want to give energy to somebody who did something, awful in the space for other people. But as much as people were frustrated, I think a lot of us, between AscenPad and SOWL Token and a lot of other projects that we have been fostering partnerships with, we see this as an opportunity. We now have a chance here to show people that projects that have a quality and strong utility are here to last. And we're also here for a reason. So many of these projects have done so much behind the scenes and preparation before launch. And I think that's something important to look at too. We're not rushing into launching something without thinking about what it can do long term, whereas both the SOWL Token and AscenPad, we have a long-term vision for what we're building out because, let's face it, we need projects in this space now that people can, believe in and see that there's a long-term effect here where, we love to see a spike in the chart. Don't get me wrong. And Kelvin tells me every day to stop looking at my chart and I'm getting better, a lot better. But, what you look at isn't necessarily like that spike that happened in 15 minutes. What you're looking at is that gradual increase that happens in 15 days. You know, a chart is indicative of the success of a project, but you also need to remember that there is a market that we just can't control. And while we can't control it, what we can control is the work we do within our own project. And I think that's a lot of what, you know, our community has seen with the SOWL token, and a lot of what AscenPad's community has seen as well, and taking this time to look at things from a different approach. So, you know, and it looks like somebody just secured one of the Brontos, number 203.
You're looking at the AscenPad Telegram. Yeah, the meter went up. So you're down to 22 now. 22 to go. Put the counter up, everyone.
Yeah. So they wrote in our group.
I was just gonna say, you were commenting on the chart watching, and the chart indicative of this and that and the other thing. But I think if we dial it back to why did SOWL launch a token at all? That, I think, to me, is the fundamental. That's the focus. That's the thing. That's the driver. That's what keeps chart is almost. It's not irrelevant. It's just that almost doesn't matter. That business right there is what matters. So remind us all, please.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy you brought that up, because, you know, the SOWL token actually was never going to be a token. It was going to just be an app. It's an app first. The whole project came to be in March of 2020 because I saw a need for virtual education resources for families that are all home now in the very beginning of the pandemic, where we had no idea what was going to happen, what the state of education or the world looked like. And so having my experience in managing app development projects allowed me to, you know, build out an e-learning app of my own. But, you know, a year passed, we were still kind of iffy on how we were going to return to school, and I still had more time. And that time allowed me to discover play to earn tokens taking off. And in that moment, I realized, okay, people are growing up. This project is growing up. It's time to expand our community. And what better way than to take this project out of just the app world and get it worldwide on a platform like Web3 and make it into a token, because the app can stand alone as is and you can market that, but you're missing an entirely larger group, which is in the crypto universe, right? So not only can you learn and get something valuable out of our app now, but you're providing not just, you know, it's no longer marketed just for kids, but rather an educational platform for all that can benefit and gain education while also enjoying themselves through learning and be rewarded for it at a time where not only are we uncertain about the future of education worldwide, we're also, you know, looking at financially what everybody's position looks like worldwide. And if you can put the two together, enjoy playing a game, have access to educational content that maybe you don't have currently or wish you had when you were, you know, younger or just couldn't take that class, and be rewarded for it in a way that can really be life-changing for some, why not, right? So it was more of a give back to expand into Web3 and to see that we can make a lot more traction and movement with this project if we entered this space. And I'll never regret entering this space the way that we did, because we've had so much more exposure than just having it as an app. So it's great.
So I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to feature SOWL Token on the AscenPad side, to introduce our community into the type of project that we like to bring on board if possible. We're not always going to have one that is as well backed, as in-depth as SOWL Token, but the project has a process built into it where there will be token revenue generated and taxes generated as dividends over and over and over again through the app itself. And I like those. I like to call them projects of projects, but although that's not what it is, but there is a continuous flow of buying and selling on the token. And AscenPad, similarly, as we introduce new projects to launch, there will be a continuous flow of buying and selling on the AscenPad token, generating dividends for AscenPad holders, and now generating dividends also for the Bronto holders. And then the Bronto NFT platform in the future, once we build it, will also generate similarly a continuous flow of project after project, fee after fee and continuously trickling back passive income to everyone. So I like these kind of projects, and it's always good to hear that fundamentally you don't need the chart. You need the app, you need those participants, you need those people, you need those kids, you need those learners, and that's where the SOWL token revenue is really, really going to come from, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I think even right now, just looking at the market, we know things right now aren't great in the market. We know that, when you have these giant monsters do monster-like things, it affects the projects that are building out something positive. But I think really the true testament of which projects are going to withstand, the bear market are the ones that are continuing to move forward. We're not saying, well, let's just pause and wait and see what happens. Now is the time for us to take a very unique and strategic approach and to reach a lot of different communities and audiences we may not have otherwise reached. We can do the whole standard marketing that we've known before, like getting banner ads on every platform we can think of, paying X number of dollars to have people call our projects, which some of, we find very effective sometimes, they're great. But it's not until you know that you're reaching real potential investors or community members until you're actually getting immersed and getting involved with other projects that have real people in them. So I'm thankful that we have this collaboration here, and many of you from the SOWL Token community know that we have multiple different partnerships that we're forming, and now all of these partnerships are kind of crossing amongst each other, and we're finding that two partnerships we have, those two are now partnering together and so on, and we're creating this ecosystem that is designed, and our mission is to really foster a positive reputation in the crypto world when people are looking for that trusted source. And I think if you're wondering, well, how do we know if we can trust you or not? Mr. Sam from FTX, he was, we knew his face, we saw him, he spoke at conferences, and look what he did. How do we know for sure that we can trust all of you? And Kelvin, I think it's important if you don't mind sharing a bit about what LayerOne is, and that connection, and what AscenPad will be doing, and why any project partnering with you can be deemed as, trustworthy. If you can provide anybody else with that quality reassurance here of knowing that the projects you're with are trusted ones.
Sure. We actually had a Twitter space yesterday with Ashlips, actually, and it was an interesting chat, and one of his partners spoke on what really makes a project trustworthy, why would you invest in a project and whatnot. And he said a lot of these projects have, and we were actually on the topic of roadmaps, and we actually hit on something about roadmaps, and we're not going to call them roadmaps. You'll notice we don't have a roadmap. We don't have a roadmap because I looked at roadmaps for the first time in Web3. I knew what a roadmap generally was, but when I saw how they were used in Web3, I just went, hang on. Anybody can write a roadmap. What the heck? And I'm not poo-pooing roadmaps. If you have one, great, but they put a lot of pressure on to deliver. It's like some sort of a contract at some point. So I said, really, I like to prefer calling them like stepping stones. Here's my stepping stones, and my milestones are the ones I've already achieved. So let's list those, and that's what we plan on doing. But what's LayerOne doing to help create a safer place? Well, LayerOne audit and KYC, we go through an in-depth process that goes way beyond anything Certic or Hacken will ever do. They do mechanical audits, and they're good. That's fine. But we have the devs. We have a certified cryptocurrency auditor on our team. We make sure that the contract doesn't have black holes in it. We're not talking about something the developer wrote, but we're talking about perhaps a mistake in the code that could create an exploit for a hacker. So we also check for those. So that's quite an in-depth process that helps ensure that a project's contracts and the contract itself are safe. And that's fine, but it's better we know the person behind it, to be perfectly honest. And a KYC, a lot of people are worried about a KYC, but the truth is we're governed by South African law, which has GDPR as its foundation. Not really, but it's POPIA, the Protection of Personal Information Act here, which goes beyond what GDPR does actually. we're bound by law not to share anything anyone shares with us. So when we KYC someone, we get to know their birth date, birthplace, all their very pertinent details. But we can't share that with anyone. But we get to put our stamp on it and say they've been KYC'd by us. Should a crime be committed, open a case, get a lawyer, get a mandate, and we'll go catch the criminal. Because that's the part that we bring to the table that's unique in this space. So our CyberSec team and our lead, Liam, has done a lot of cryptocurrency fraud investigation. We have 2 cases on the go right now. AfriCrypt is one of them. MTI is another. With AfriCrypt, the CII is involved. The head of the local chapter, Sean Pierce, is representing plaintiffs in the case, and he has helped track down the Kaji brothers. And that was originally valued at over $3 billion, the crime itself. And so that's they are recovering those funds on behalf of plaintiffs. And that's, so we work with Sean Pierce of CII. CII is 400 investigators, internationally licensed. So that's as opposed to a local license, doesn't allow them to practice outside their jurisdiction or state. These guys can travel internationally. They are located in 72 countries around the world. So when there's a mandate to catch a criminal, they can have boots on the ground in 24 to 48 hours, and they love getting out their handcuffs. So that's the thing we bring to the table that's unique. We have a track record of finding the criminals. So we found the criminals. Sean found the criminals in the AfriCrypt case. I'm, along with Liam, are dubbed by the courts as forensic experts in the MTI case, and we have officially recovered 40% of those funds. That's officially, but the ongoing case we can't talk about, but that part's in the news, so that's what we know and we can share. And then in the case of AscenPad itself, we effectively got back the liquidity pool that was stolen when AscenPad was handed over to LayerOne as a project. So we have a track record of being able to do what we say. So that's another indicator of a good project, if they've already delivered on something. And that was one thing that came out in our Twitter space yesterday. But thanks for asking. That's what we bring to the table, and we vet projects so that when they launch with us, you can be sure we know who they are and we can catch them if they rug. You're muted, Megan.
I always do that. Sorry. No, I think it's so important to have that assurance. You know, it takes it a level beyond just being KYC'd and knowing that those are projects that are reputable, and also having proof that you've been able to deliver on something. And, you know, when you had mentioned about not having a roadmap, that's actually a really strategic approach. I think about our roadmap, and there's some things on our roadmap that we have accomplished way ahead of schedule. And there are also ones, you know, that we look at and we're like, I wonder if now's the best time to do that in the market or if we wait. And so you're right. It's kind of like you publish it as, you know, as fact there, but we can already see if there's something that we weren't even planning to accomplish until, I don't know, Q2 of next year, and we've already accomplished it. Now, do I go and move it back? Do I just cross it off the list? It does make you want to go back. And the more and more that you update your roadmap, people will say, well, what is the plan? I kind of like the idea of posting those milestones that we've reached, you know, posting after the fact, kind of like how people in our community all the time, they're dying to know updates and news. And then the other half of the community is like, no, don't say anything because people buy the rumor and sell on the news, you know, but it's still, it's always going to be a game like that of how people buy into something or not. But I think the people who see the benefits of a project long term, they buy into it when they hear news like that you're a project that's backed by something so reliable, so trusted that it's, you know, safer than just saying you're KYC'd. The ability to take it even further is so important, and to show people, look, like, these devs mean business when they, you know, partner with an organization that is saying, look, if you ever do something wrong, like, you will get in trouble for it. And that, just knowing that dev's like, yeah, I know, and I'm still taking that step because I know that I'll never do something like that, should be I don't know how much more security you can get as an investor than knowing that dev is willing to do something like that. Well, not willing, but so confident in their plans and in their goals and objectives that they want to say, I'm so sure of this that I'm telling you guys right now, I'm doing this for you, and I'm not in this to go and do a rug pull or something like that,
And I think it's important also just to touch on this as a learning point from this discussion. If you are involved in a scam, not the scammer, but if you've been scammed and it is a substantial amount of money that you would like to eventually get back, don't count on it coming back quickly, number one. Number two, immediately report it to your local police station, literally the local police station. Go there, have an officer help you write an affidavit and file a case number. Police are getting more and more adept at writing these. Crypto has been a mystery for them, but it's becoming quickly not so much a mystery anymore. So do that, because the Council of International Investigators has told me many times they can't get involved if there's no case, if there's no legal basis to jump in. So case with your local police, then lawyers, and then private investigators and anything else you want after that. So that's the process. So the little tidbit there was just go report it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your local police aren't going to likely have the manpower to do anything about it. But if you don't report it, next steps can't be taken. So there's a takeaway for today. I think Hitman had a question here about, and he had an interesting question. I just wanted to touch on this. Justin Bieber bought a Bored Ape. Yeah, those drooling monkey pictures. I tell you, we wanted to avoid that when we did the Bronto. It was just too much drooling monkeys out there. 1.3 million spent on it, and now it's worth $74,000. Nice drop. Well, you know what? When you're rich and famous and you got that money, who cares? But his question was, how do you avoid getting into a trap like that with an NFT? Well, ultimately, grab NFTs at mint time. There's no... I'm not saying that because we're minting. If we're not minting, I'd still tell you the same thing. I actually do that. I've grabbed a whole bunch of free mint NFTs and stick to, you'll notice the Bored Apes are on the Ethereum blockchain. We did that intentionally as well. We're on the Ethereum blockchain because that's where all the valuable NFTs are, and we wanted to make sure that this one had value, so we put it there. Right. So anyway, grab an NFT at mint time. I would, when price is up, people see price going up, and here's a trading tip for everyone. When you see the price chart going up, guys, just step aside, just wait, because it always comes back down. And then, I think that was it. Just when the price is going up, just stay out of the market, even on the SOWL token price chart, which leads me to a question I wanted to ask you, Megan. You have taxes. Are any of those I can't remember. Are you doing a reflections type tax dividend?
We are. So we aren't at this time. Okay. Given everything that has happened in the market, given looking at our plans for how we are developing out our project and our V2 of the app, we're seeing, and a lot of it comes from community feedback too, and a lot of other projects out there. We're looking at how to really brand and show version 2 of our game as something that's more than just a game and really an infrastructure for education, right? Because there are so many games out there, but finding that perfect blend between gaming and education is what we've been kind of working on behind the scenes. With that being said, we have, elected to do a couple things with our token supply that we have on our website, and you can see that breakdown on there too. We know that 8% of our token supply is in kind of like a treasury. We also have 8% that goes to our team and advisory, and there's tokens in other areas as well that are unlocked. And given the market right now, we see how important it is to show that value to people who are currently holding as SOWL token holders or soldiers here. We are doing a couple token burns because we see the need for it. We see the need to show people the true value that we have in our project, and the people that have been holding for so long, and showing them like, the value of BNB is not what it was a couple weeks ago, but we can show you that the value of SOWL is here to stay. And the team is actually electing to burn their supply to show that support. It was a big choice that we took as a team, but we know that if this is a project that I have at least 10 years of planning already mapped out for, then the least we can do as a team is show that, dedication to this project at this stage. So a lot of what people are seeing right now for the SOWL token are weekly burns. We have also elected to take part of our tax that comes in. So of that 5% sell tax, we are looking at part of it still going to development, because we know when the market is bad, keep your head down and build. And the other part of it going back to buying supply to show people we want to keep this stabilized, and the longevity is so important to us. So we made a pretty big announcement of that in our group. We publish when the burns are happening on a weekly basis on Thursdays, or Thursday, technically early Friday morning, depending on where you live in the world, but they're going to be happening weekly. We publish the transaction hash. We're publishing those on our website just to keep on going forward with our initiative of being transparent with the community. And these burns have actually kept people really excited who are holding, and encouraging them to get their bags right before a burn happens. They know that the minting of the Brontos has been happening until the 27th, and the week's going to kick off with a bang because of that, which we're incredibly thankful for. And we think that doing things like this right now and showing dedication to our community, one, not only helps us continue to succeed during a declining market. We're an inclining project, but it actually could be a form of marketing that we see, because now our real life investors are going and telling their real life friends about our projects. We're not shilling this to other bots who we don't even know if they're real people or not, or hoping that they see a tweet about us. We have real people who believe in what we're doing, telling other real people to believe in what we're doing too. And I think that way of unconventional marketing has been far more valuable to us, and what we're going to keep doing to give back to the people that have believed in us now for almost 2 months, which is incredible. So I can't believe we launched on October 3rd and we're here today. And yeah, you know what? We're not at our all-time high on the chart, but if we've done it once before, we will do it again, and we will go beyond that. And partnerships like this only continue to help us do that, which is great. So we want to thank you again.
Thanks, Megan. I was just going to say, for the community, as small as the group might be listening now, or for those who listen in later, ideally, you do not want to see the chart skyrocketing. All of them that do this. And an ideal chart for a SOWL token would be one that just goes up and down and just moves sideways, literally sideways. You don't need to see it going up to have value in the investment. The value in all current crypto investments, NFTs, tokens, etc., is not going to increase right now. But wait until legislation passes on cryptocurrency in the US, and just hold on, because at that point, everything will go up. So right now, the smart investors are just keeping the charts going sideways, and every little dip, they'll just take some of their disposable income and grab a little bit more from all of the quality projects that they have in their bag, and just keep adding to your bag on a weekly basis from what you can spare. Right. Another piece of advice, nobody should ape in. Don't spend your life savings on any project. And if I find out that someone took their entire life savings and that was $500 and they gave it to AscenPad, I'm just going to give it back. We don't want that. We don't need that. We want long-term holders, smart people putting little bits in over time, and that's what's going to keep projects stable too. So I think if we get that message out to communities, that's also very valuable. We don't need to see the chart go up. We don't like it when it goes down. Our ideal chart right now is a sideways chart that goes up and down, and everybody just grabbing a little bit at the bottom as you go. And that's it.
Yeah. And I think, at this stage, I think we've been seeing a lot of that too. I know we saw a spike up the other day, which was cool to see. And, but I see where we stabilize. But every time it's just a little bit higher. So we are seeing that gradual increase. But yeah, no, I think that what you said about, being smart about what you invest, remember, never invest what you can't afford to lose. But, just make sure you're also doing your due diligence on a project before investing in it as well. Our community is always very active in answering questions about what we're building. So if you bring anybody new in who's ever interested in learning more, I always say, please ask me as many questions as you can first. That's just making sure, with us being an education project, we want to teach you about what we're building. And I see Hitman also had a question in the chat.
He's killing me. He says he's going to ape into AscenPad and dump his life savings, and he's not going to tell me. If I catch you, dude.
Yeah. I know your
anyway.
question. Yeah, your questions about that warning on CMC. Yeah, so with that, and we're working on that. So here's what happened there. So when we launched with a 0% buy sell tax. We did that to drum up some volume, get a lot of community members in, and it actually really worked in our favor. In order to be SAFU compliant, you're not allowed to make any changes to your contract until 14 days post-launch. We knew 14 days post-launch that we would all be voting on what the tax was going to be, because ultimately that's how a project can make money. And our community had 48 hours to vote, and we voted on a buy 3%, sell 5% tax. With that, we went in and changed the tax, and part of our contract feature was you need that ability to change the tax because we were going to 14 days later. When we did that, we locked that feature in because we knew that's what it was going to be. There was no need to ever go in and change it. What that warning shows you on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap is that the project founder or the project owner, whoever controls the contract, has the ability to change the tax, meaning one day, I'm not, but one day I could have gone in and changed the tax to like 99%. Obviously I can't now, and that's all been locked in. However, when that change was made and locked in, immediately Crypto.com got rid of that warning. CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap were a little different. CoinGecko wrote us a message saying that you'd have to renounce the contract, which we don't really think was right, and it was just a representative who told us that. Luckily, our chief marketing officer, he knows Bobby, the CFO over at CoinGecko, and he's been chatting with him just to make sure that representative knows what it was that we were actually asking for. And then we also just had to fill out a form and submit it to CoinMarketCap as well, which, if you guys know CoinMarketCap, that's the biggest of the biggest ones out there. And they go through a lot of messages all day, but the request has been submitted for that to go away. It was also submitted with Dex Tools, and I received confirmation from them that it's in their queue, because it's important for people to know that no, I cannot go in there in one day just decide to make our tax rate 99%. I can't do that. So I just want everybody to know that, what we see and what the features are. Go in and dig into the contract, and you'll be able to see that what we have in there right now is buy 3%, sell 5%. And
so that's a honeypot when you can set the tax to any value you want. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting, and people can see that now. If you go in and do like any of the honeypot scanners, it says we're not. So they're picking up on that when they run our contract. The honeypot scanner is, and they're saying, doesn't seem to be a honeypot here. So if you can go on there and do that and see that it's not, then simply we're just waiting for that disclaimer to be removed. That's all. So
So I think this is also a nice crossover point to mention why a KYC and a contract audit are so valuable, especially in terms of the way LayerOne will do them, as opposed to Hacken or Certic, who will mechanically check it and say, all right, you have total control over that aspect of that's a high risk. Sorry, but we're going to label you high risk. But we don't need to do that. If we know who you are, we have your home address, and you've got a registered business on top of that, we'll just go, this risk is mitigated by KYC. Done. Audit's good as far as we're concerned. It's true, the automated processes at CMC and CG are a lot more damaging than any audit can be from us. But the point is, this is why KYC in a project is so much more important than doxing. Doxing is like what we're doing now. Put our face on, say who we are. Done. nobody knows where our home address is unless we actually put it here on screen. Whereas a KYC gives someone that level of detail, which puts the onus on the owners then to stay true to their word. So that's where KYC and audit places such a high value on projects. So when they get a red flag like that, they can call us. They can call us. If we've audited your contract and we've audited you and someone sees that red flag on CMC, they can call us. You guys audited them, but they've got a red flag. Did you not see that? And we're going to go, yes, we did. And here's why they're not red flagged with us. Here's why. And, we've got the track record behind us to say we can catch criminals if we need to. So don't worry about it. Ape in if you're a whale.
I think it only continues to add, more value to a project is the transparency, the updates, the security, and knowing that they have done what they need to as a project owner, founder, dev, to take that time to show their community, look, I'm here, I'm reliable, I'm trusted, and I've done X, Y, and Z to show you that. And not every project does that, and there's a lot of projects that just say, you know what, I'm just going to launch this holiday token. I'm going to market the crap out of it with all of my extra money that I'm just playing around with. And then I'm just going to take it. There's two different types of projects out there, it seems. And we want to be part of that, positive mission and reputation to really build up this space. And I tell our community all the time, one, we wouldn't exist without all of you, right? A chart could not possibly exist if it wasn't for all of its holders. And two, I am not going to put all of this time and effort into what we're building if I'm not serious about it. And that, I think, has been so important and instrumental in our growth. I still think we're a young project. We're not even 2 years old yet, but the actual vision itself is over 2 years old. So I think all of the behind the scenes work up until this point was so important for a project, and so important to find those ones that have that utility and that real life use case behind them to show people what makes them stand out amongst all the rest. And, even right now, we see every weekend, some countries, it's almost like customary to sell off your gains at the end of every weekend. But this weekend we have a couple fun things going on in our group. And I think that community involvement and engagement is what we need right now. We need people in high spirits and happy about what's being built, and not sitting here wondering when is that next, Watcher Guru tweet or news headline about something damaging in the crypto space going to be our demise. It's not going to be if we don't let it. If we don't let those big, overarching groups do whatever they do and just get them out, then that doesn't give us the opportunity to grow ourselves up. And I'm dedicated to being a part of the teams that are here to grow us. So, I'm incredibly excited. And I know a couple new people have just joined us in here. And if you don't mind, Kelvin, time flies. If you don't mind.
I'm like a 1 hour guy and I turn into a pumpkin. So it's going to get messy very soon. So
yeah, I guess if we, as a good wrap up, if you can just remind our community in here, and I'll even tell everybody, look, if you just want to get to you want to listen to the whole AMA, but if you just want to listen to the good news, you can scroll to the last 5 minutes of it. So Kelvin, if you don't mind just recapping for the SOWL Token community, what's going to happen on Monday, and what could also happen. I'm going to let you share that good news one more time.
What could also happen? You caught me on that one, but let me.
Or I guess what that news is, and then regarding what there's 22 left of as well.
Oh yeah, okay. So the TLDR version in this AMA. We took a deep dive into the Bronto NFT, literally into the NFT, and described and explained in great detail why NFTs can have value and how we built value into the Bronto NFT. That was the one thing we did. Surprise, surprise, someone actually minted a very, very rare NFT, and that person is likely part of this community because it was minted after the 17th of November. So congratulations on that one. Aside from the fun little game we played, the other surprise was 40%. So 40% is about half of the mint value. We have 20% that's already dedicated to something else, leaving 80%. So we thought partners share 50-50, so have half of what we have left, and that's 40%. So 40% of our mint is going to be given to either buy SOWL tokens, and you guys can decide what we do with the money once we've collected it all on Monday. There's only 22 Brontos left to mint. Someone minted one today. If you mint a total of 30, which means there's 22 left to get to 30, once you get to 30, we're going to donate 6 more Brontos. That's a 20% bonus. Those will collect reflections from AscenPad. And I think if I was to summarize our kind of mission statement that I like to sign off with, I invite everyone to please join us as we reward and continue to reward our communities with Bronto-sized bonuses and create a safer place for generational wealth building for all NFT and blockchain enthusiasts. Please support our continuing effort to build the most powerful crime-fighting community on the planet. Join us, mint a Bronto, and click safe, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. I'm going to stop our recording here.